Gray is here on the Blaze Radio Network.
Wow, Keith, this is inexcusable.
What?
You know what Friday was?
Friday. Oh, yes. I see on my calendar right now.
Is there any reminder from you?
Yeah, there is.
The producer of this show.
Oh, no.
That Friday, October 14th, was George Floyd Day.
That's my bad.
And you didn't mention it.
I'm sorry.
It's pathetic.
I'm sorry.
You're a miserable excuse for a producer. You're a miserable excuse for a human being, let alone producer.
It's like the first one. I'm sorry that I didn't.
Wow.
Doesn't just roll off my brain. 10-14.
Right. Yeah. Would that be your excuse if you just ignored Easter or Christmas? Would that be your excuse?
Are you suggesting?
That's the first one. Yeah. This magnificent man.
Okay.
Who we've been celebrating now since his death in 2020, was it?
Yeah. Huh.
And you would just totally ignore the first day, the first George Floyd Day.
Well, can I blame Google Doodles?
No.
I don't remember a Google Doodle for George Floyd Friday.
You can go to a mirror, look who's in it, and blame that person. Wow. I mean, you're the worst.
Sorry.
I should tell you, just get out. That's what I should do right now.
Go back to bed?
Just get out. Don't come back. And go to bed and stay there for the for the rest of time.
What other holidays can
Just
I forget
stay there.
if it gets me more sleep?
So George Floyd Day was Friday.
Of course it was.
Happy George Floyd Day, everybody. George Floyd weekend, I guess, would be today. Continues into today.
4-day weekend?
Yeah.
To remember George Floyd. Okay.
Right. So there you go. How was your weekend? Was it good? Nebraska lost.
Nebraska did lose, but we had a receiver bring in 237 receiving yards.
Oh, nice.
And 60 rushing yards, all in a loss.
Wow.
So
BYU didn't play.
They did not play.
They did not play well at all. They did not play well. They lost 52-35 to Arkansas, which broke me.
That doesn't seem
It just
good.
broke me now.
Yeah.
It's not good, and I'm a broken man.
I'm sorry to hear that.
Yeah.
Now, Tennessee had a big win.
Geez, Tennessee beat Alabama. What a game that was. I mean, that was back and forth all day long. Tennessee I think they were ahead at one point, 28-10. They won 52-49 on a last-second field goal.
Yeah.
Awesome.
Here's a fun stat as I look something up from that game. Fun stat is that teams in college football history to start 6-0 beat 4 top 25 AP opponents and score 30 or more points in each of the first 6 games in a single season. That would be the 2022 Tennessee Volunteers.
And that's it?
That's it.
Oh, wow. Really?
Yeah.
Wow. Well, they should be ranked number 1 right now. I'll bet they're not. I didn't check the rankings yesterday because nobody I care about's in them.
Yeah, I think Tennessee's up to 3. Alabama 6. I think that's right. I think it goes Georgia, Ohio State, Tennessee,
Ohio State. Okay.
Michigan. But
Michigan looks tough too.
Tennessee fans took down the goalposts, and now there's a crowdfunding request to replace them by the time they play next week.
Yeah. I heard they were going to get fined $100,000 if they rushed the field by the SEC. They were going to get fined. Like, did that happen? Do we know? And if they tore down the goalposts, that was another 25,000, I think.
Okay, so they did get announced yesterday. The SEC is fining Tennessee $100,000. Now, let's see.
I mean,
that was their second offense.
Come on, you don't allow them to rush the field with a win over Alabama?
It happens again, it's $250,000.
Come on, that's asinine.
I mean, that is.
It's their first win in the last 15 tries.
Yeah.
So let them rush the field. Who cares?
What? SEC needs to back off.
Yeah.
This is a Tennessee issue.
Right. It's Tennessee's field. They're the ones who have to take care of it. Why does the SEC care if their fans rush the field, tear down the goalposts, break down the stadium if they. I mean, I'm not encouraging that, but what do they care? Weird. That's weird. All right. Just one other football note, though. Mm-hmm. Going way back here.
Okay.
My Capitol High Bruins.
Oh.
Yeah, my alma mater. In the mean streets of Helena.
Yeah.
Crushed the number 2. So they're ranked number 1 in the state right now.
Oh, nice.
Yeah, 8-0, ranked number 1. They played the number 2 team, Missoula Sentinel.
Clash of the Titans.
Beat them 40-6.
Whoa, no.
40-6.
Oh, that is awesome, man.
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
Look at that.
Loving it. Loving that. So I'm going to follow them now. And
do you know the last time? We've been here before with our high school
team.
Yeah,
we have. Because you looked it up, and they were really good, right? Your Georgia team?
Yeah, Walton High School. That was years ago, though. I don't know how they are now.
Oh, okay.
When's the last time your Capitol High Bruins won the state title?
2011.
Oh, okay.
2011. They've won more state titles since their inception than any other school in the state.
I'm going to go out on a limb here
By
and
a
say
lot.
that Walton has never
won the state championship?
No.
Oh, wow.
And the high school's been around since 1976.
Well, but I mean, Georgia's some serious football going on there.
Yeah.
You know,
yeah.
So, a lot like Texas.
So you've when do they play the state football championship, and what's the weather like?
November 18th.
Okay.
And I can almost guarantee it's going to be cold. It's going to be somewhat nippy. The last state championship I went to for Capitol High was 1978, and it was 10 below zero with a wind chill of about 35 below.
Oh, no.
Yeah, it was nasty.
That is nasty.
It was nasty cold.
I coming up on Thursday on atthemikeshow.com, I actually talked to Vern Lundquist because he's at the Ice Bowl, Dallas and Green Bay.
That's right.
And we were.
He actually did the call, didn't he?
Well, no, he was working the game for the radio. I don't think he wasn't the play-by-play guy yet, but he was with the team there. And we were trying to figure out, would the NFL even play that game today?
I don't think so.
Below zero or whatever it was.
No, they'd probably they'd delay the game, or they'd move it to a domed stadium. I'll bet you they would.
No, nuh-uh.
Yeah, they would.
Oh, what?
I'll bet they would.
Minneapolis? The Packers are going to have to travel to Minnesota to play? No.
They're too sissified now.
I agree with that. Absolutely. You can't even tackle a quarterback and get away with that.
Right.
So anyhow, we discussed that. But he does talk about Frank Giffort's coffee cup in the booth. Like, he just picked it up and it was frozen solid.
Oh, wow.
The hot coffee.
Really? That's interesting.
Yeah. My Walton Raiders are 4-1, by the way. Just thought
Who is?
My Walton Raiders. They
are?
Yeah. So,
good.
I mean, it's okay.
That's not bad.
I don't know where they
That's not bad in Georgia. We'll have to look that up later.
Braves are eliminated. I know you care about that, too.
They're eliminated by
the Philadelphia Phillies. Totally killed the Braves. Good job.
Philadelphia's doing really well in football and baseball right now.
6-0 in football.
Jeez.
So in baseball, you've got the Phillies and Padres. Who knocked out the 1 and 2 seeds, Dodgers and Braves.
And the Astros.
Astros are waiting for the Game 5 today,
right,
Yankees and Indians, Guardians.
How dare you?
I can't let it go.
How dare you dead name?
I will never let it go.
How dare you dead name them? Wow.
Yeah, sorry.
The other kind of interesting football note before we get into the meat and potatoes today, which, by the way, we got a ton of stuff to talk about. The Tua Tagovailoa may not ever play again.
What? No.
Is what I'm hearing.
What?
That's what I'm hearing.
Wait, I thought he was cleared.
He was cleared. However, his doctors have said you shouldn't ever get hit in the head again. And there's no way he can avoid that. If he goes back to football, they said he should find something else to do.
Okay, 6 doctors have said that there are no lasting effects from what he's been going through the last few weeks. But you're saying that the advice that they're giving him is don't play again because if you get hit. So do we know what he's thinking?
Are they really saying?
Yeah. He had 6 doctors look at him, and they all concluded there are no lasting effects from.
Ooh, that sounds like some quackery to me.
These weren't
really.
These weren't employees of the Miami Dolphins.
I'll tell you this: I wouldn't play again if I were him.
Oh, I wouldn't have played again if I were Peyton Manning with his back vertebrae thing going on, and he went on to win Super Bowl.
Right.
And be incredible again.
True.
So I don't know, man. These guys are competitors.
They are, and it's really hard for them to quit. But man, I don't know. He was out of it. Yeah. I mean, he was literally knocked unconscious, and he had to be carted out. He couldn't get up and walk off the field. They had to cart him off. So I don't know. I wouldn't play, but I'll bet he does. He probably will. But yeah, there are doctors speculating that he will never play again, and that he shouldn't. So I don't know. We'll see. 6 doctors said go ahead. Yeah. Like there's no danger at all to him?
So he broke his hip in 2020. Remember that when he was at Alabama, right?
Oh, yeah.
Yeah. He played
That's a nasty
last
injury.
year with fractured ribs, Kevlar vest.
Jeez.
And now he's got the brain situation.
Guy's pretty tough. Pretty tough.
Well, maybe you're right. I mean, if the checks keep coming, do you retire?
Yeah.
You just go ahead and call it a career?
Yeah, I would. I would. I don't want to mess with, the brain. Yeah. I mean, that's too important. And so, what is it called? The CTE? CTE.
Yeah.
The CTE situation, or, early onset dementia, or, man, I wouldn't want to take a chance with any of that kind of stuff. Speaking of dementia, Joe Biden was out and about this past weekend, babbling incoherently as usual. This guy should retire too. This guy should retire and go home.
Oh, that's a good idea.
Yeah. Yeah, doctors should tell him, dude, you can't afford to be, out and about. You need to go home and stay there. But here's what he had to say over the weekend.
There's not a single solitary Biden man that is younger than any Biden woman.
Okay.
I'm sorry. What?
What did you not? Did you have trouble understanding? It was pretty straightforward.
There's not a single solitary Biden
solitary man Biden
younger than any Biden woman.
Than any. Okay, so there's not a
single work through this. We'll wait.
Solitary Biden man.
Correct.
That's younger than any Biden woman. Did I get that?
You got it.
So
there's not a single solitary
Biden man
that is younger than any Biden woman.
Okay.
I'm sitting here and trying to think this one through. I got to think this one through here.
So
who's the oldest?
All of the Biden men are older than the Biden women. Is that what he's saying?
Hold on now. Which kid did Jill have?
That's a good question. I don't know that she had any of his kids.
Really? None of them?
No, I don't think she did.
Oh.
No, I think.
Oh, so he's a stepdad, though, right? I thought she had.
Does she have some?
Hell, I don't know.
I don't know.
Who cares? I want them gone out of my
life. I don't want to think about them anymore. But we have to. Yeah, because Ashley was from the first. So was Hunter, and
no,
so
Ashley's hers.
Oh, Ashley is hers.
Okay,
really?
Then that doesn't.
All right.
That doesn't change anything. Yeah, it's Bo and Hunter that are her stepkids.
Okay.
So I guess that doesn't help.
But all of them are older than all the. Now, it doesn't seem reasonable that Hunter is older than Jill. But he said it, and, you got his word as a Biden. So.
Okay.
I guess Hunter's older than Jill. That's interesting. All right.
The things you learn on this show.
Yeah. Yeah, because let's see. What did he say again? One more time. Make sure we got it.
There's not a single solitary Biden man that is younger than any Biden woman.
That's younger than any Biden woman.
Honestly, it causes me pain just to hear the man speak.
Oh,
I know. Ugh.
It's pathetic. Here he is touting his Inflation Reduction Act, which is, done so well for us so far.
Sit at that kitchen table I told you about paying your bills.
Yeah, what do you got?
Well, what are necessities for a vast majority of families?
I don't know.
Prescription drugs.
Okay.
If you lower prescription drug costs significantly, it lowers their cost of a family, and inflation for the family is reduced.
Okay. Wait,
it goes on. It's the same way with what's in the Inflation Reduction Act. It has to do with your ability to be able to get tax credits for buying if you need a new coffee machine, a new washer, a new refrigerator, you buy an efficient refrigerator, efficient coffee machine.
Oh, that's what we need.
You get a tax credit for it. It costs you less money. It's estimated average family will save $500 a year as well.
You get that?
So if we all buy coffee machines,
well, efficient,
weatherizing your home,
weatherize your
new windows.
Can you pause this? I'm sorry. I'm hungry. You know what? Let's do. Let's weatherize our home. Shut the hell! I can't.
Okay, so you buy an efficient coffee machine, you're going to save $500.
I got to tell you something.
Is that right?
The coffee machines in this world. I'm looking at you.
Mm-hmm.
Coffee machines in this world. That's what's killing us with the energy.
Yes, I've always said that. If I had a nickel for every time I said these damn coffee machines are just costing us way too much. What if you don't drink coffee? Then what happens?
Well, then you're not part of the problem like the rest of us.
Okay. All right. So start this over. Let's try to figure this one out, too. Let's noodle this out.
Oh, no.
Because this is good stuff.
Sit at that kitchen table I told you about paying your bills. Well, what are necessities for a vast majority of families?
Coffee machines?
Prescription drugs.
Prescription drugs, okay.
If you lower prescription drug costs significantly, it lowers their cost of a family, and inflation for the family is reduced.
What the hell?
It goes on. The same way with what's in the Inflation Reduction Act has to do with your ability to be able to get tax credits for buying. If you need a new coffee machine, a new washer, a new refrigerator, you buy an efficient refrigerator.
They're called coffee makers, by the way.
You get a tax credit for it.
You get
costs you less money. It's estimated average family will save $500 as well
by buying coffee machines and refrigerators.
Weatherizing your home.
Weatherize
Put
it.
in new windows. Keep
new windows.
Or a door that doesn't leak air and bring in the cold, etc. There's a lot in here that lowers the everyday cost for middle-class families to be able to make it.
Okay.
And look,
I
come from a wealthy state, the state of Delaware.
Yeah.
Well, guess what?
What?
I've never been a big fan of trickle-down economy. Where I'm serious.
No, you're serious.
But that's where we've been for the last 30 years, guys.
Well, and it's been doing pretty well.
Yeah. Yeah, it has. That's where we've been for the last 30 years. I don't know. We've been there a lot longer than that.
This guy sucks beyond description.
Oh, yeah. There's no way. There's no words in the English language that can describe
Listen
how bad he is.
That. I'm trying to convince you that it helps with inflation if you do these green energy things. Shut up. This is, again, this is painful just to listen to this. And I just, whatever, man. I can't with this cat. He's so frustrating. And this entire Marxist regime that's throwing this stuff on us. And I think I'm still pissed that he called it a coffee machine instead of a coffee maker. I think I'm still hung up on that mentally.
Yeah.
But what was the thing that he said there? Oh yeah. Are we seriously? Can you get a tax credit? I got to know. A tax credit for your coffee maker? Oh, I'm sure the 87,000 IRS agents are just waiting for you to try to get
right off your coffee maker.
Write that off. Right off your coffee maker. I'm just waiting for it.
And can you, or a refrigerator, or any of the things, the appliances
you
mentioned.
Can't wait to see our tax.
Jeez.
You know how the tax thing asks you questions, Did you, in the last year, purchase, it's going to be
a coffee maker?
I can't wait for that question. Did you purchase an energy-efficient coffee machine?
Yes, I did.
Oh, how much is that going to save me?
$500.
Uh-huh.
Okay.
And then you see your tax liability. Wow. I bought 10, actually, Joe. I can't. This is a nightmare.
It's incredible. Let me tell you about Rough Greens. When you own a dog, you know how important they are to you. Your dog just becomes part of your family, and you want the best for your dog. You want to make sure that you're doing the best for them, for their health and their happiness, because they're important to you. So that's where Rough Greens comes in. You can just sprinkle this on top of your dog's food, whatever it is you feed your dog, whatever dry kibble stuff, just put this on top. Your dog is going to absolutely love it, and it's really good for them. With vitamins and minerals and probiotics and antioxidants and all the things that your dog needs to become more healthy and more active. And my dog loves this stuff. If you want to see if yours is going to love it too before you really commit, Rough Greens want you to do the same thing. That's why they're willing to send you a free bag, just a sample bag to try out with your dog. All you have to pay is the shipping. Just go to roughgreens.com, R-U-F-F, Greens, roughgreens.com, or call 833-783-3364.
That gray is unleashed.
Plus, Biden was out touching teen girls again, or preteen girls.
Oh.
I don't know why he just can't keep his hands off of people.
Because he's a pedophile.
Well, that's why.
That's why.
That's why. And, we have a little information from his own daughter to maybe back that up. So here's what happened this weekend.
Okay, they're smiling for the camera. Yay.
Very important thing.
Whoa, watch the hand.
Now, you don't need to touch that girl at all.
No serious guys till you're 30.
Okay. No serious guys till
No
you're
serious guys till you're 30.
Don't keep that in mind.
And look at the Secret Service guy trying to get the guy to stop filming too. He's like, no, we don't need record of his touching kids.
Jeez.
Who was it?
Comes up behind her as always, has to get right in her face.
Yeah.
Putting his hands on her shoulders. Stop it.
Yep.
Stop it.
I forgot.
It's creepy and inappropriate.
Yeah, don't sniff him. I think it was B.S. Mariani. I forgot who it was that tweeted at us. Just as he's starting to reach for her shoulders, like he is sniffing her hair. And I didn't pick up on that, Toe.
Yeah, let's see it again.
This is gross.
Mm-hmm.
Look at him. Did you see that? How he's leaning in there on her?
Yeah.
Now, that could be for the picture thing.
Very important thing I told my daughter.
Okay, yeah. So it was at the very beginning of that. Yeah. He's
Very important thing I told my
You don't need to lean in there. Just stand back there and smile, old man.
One of the important things I told my daughter was, you come shower with me.
Yeah.
Let's go shower together.
Yep.
It's one of the important things.
That's interesting. That's good to file that away.
Yeah. That's what I told her. And so I'd like to say to her, to this girl, you come shower with me too.
Oh.
That's what I'd like to say.
He sure would.
And apparently, her hair doesn't smell that fresh, so she needs to wash it. And so I could help her with that.
Okay. Well, that's how about no?
How about no?
Yeah.
Maybe
she should bring never mind. This guy, he is. They're gonna, when they pick up the pieces after November 8th. This man, they are gonna be working overtime to shuffle him out because they will realize that yes, they spent 2 years shoving Marxist policies down our throat as a nation, but now the man's a liability, and they're not gonna wait for his full term.
Yep. The other thing he likes to do, other than touch girls inappropriately, is to get ice cream. And so as he was eating his ice cream.
Yeah, this audio is not good. I would like to point out that he was in Portland this weekend because that's the only part of the country that wants him to campaign with them.
Yeah.
So he's there for some liberal running for governor. I think it's governor. Anyway.
Found an ice cream spot.
Found ice cream, and so he's trying to convince us. The audio's poor, but he's saying the economy's good as hell. It's totally fine. What do you mean?
My gosh.
This is just one more economic one. Are you concerned about the strength of the dollar? Concerned about the strength of the dollar? Chomp, chomp, chomp. Ugh. Close their mouth.
I'm concerned about the strength of the dollar. I'm concerned about the rest of the world. Does that make sense?
No.
Yes. Our economy is strong as hell.
Strong as hell.
You gotta be kidding me.
Inflation is worldwide.
Oh my.
It's worse off everywhere else than it is in the United States. So the problem is.
It's an actual quote. The economy is good as hell.
Strong as hell.
Sound policy in other countries, not so much.
He said strong, not good.
I know.
Let's go back. All right, go back to the beginning. I gotta hear this.
I'm not concerned about the strength of the dollar.
All right.
Wow.
I'm concerned about the rest of the world. Does that make sense?
No.
Yes. Our economy is strong as hell.
No, it's strong.
Our economy is strong as hell.
As strong as hell, our economy. Are you serious? Sadly, he is. He is serious about that. It's amazing. It's amazing. Our economy is strong as hell. What's the matter with you people?
Yeah.
Don't you understand how well you're doing? If I have to keep telling you this, I'm going to really get pissed here.
Dang.
In fact, I already am. I'm already pissed. Wow.
A lot of chewing with his mouth open too.
Yeah.
Appreciate that.
Yep. No, he's just the worst. I mean, this guy.
Hey, early voting starts today in Georgia.
Does it really?
Yeah.
So at least they got the debate in before the early voting started.
Yeah. So
and apparently Herschel did pretty well.
Yeah. All the clips I've seen. Yep.
Herschel nailed him on the abortion situation. Here they are discussing abortion. It's Herschel Walker and Raphael Warnock. And it went a little something like this.
He told me Black Lives Matter. And if you think about it, Senator, in Atlanta, Georgia, there's more black baby that is aborted than anything. So if Black Lives Matter, why are you not protecting those babies? And instead of aborting those babies, why are you not baptizing those babies?
Yep. Good stuff.
Don't forget Raphael Warnock, a pastor.
Right. And his only comeback to that was, well, it's pretty clear about who's going to do something for women. Oh, okay.
Okay. Thank you, Senator.
Wouldn't a lot of these babies grow up to be women, Raphael? Jeez. And what about this report that Warlock's church is evicting tenants from houses?
So at the same time, in December of 2020, that Warnock's church that Warnock was saying, we need to pay people's rent, they haven't been able to work and all this stuff. At the same time that was happening, I think it was at least 4 tenants. And I know one of them. Yeah, they evicted. I know that this one guy would like to sue over what happened to him, but he can't afford the legal costs. But the bills were so small on what was owed. This one guy was back rent $28, $28.55.
Incredible.
To be exact. And so Herschel exploited that.
Because he won't answer that about evicting the people from the church. And I told him I'll pay their salary. You're evicting them right now during these hard times.
We have not evicted. We have not evicted those.
I didn't write the article.
I didn't
write the article. And most of the people out there steal my time.
I'm okay with the discussion if we start talking over each other.
We have not evicted the tenants.
Speak, Senator.
And he should take that money and pay it back to the veterans that he exploited while pretending to run.
That too. And see, you can tell that he's not desperate, because if he had read in that thing, he would have saw that I had nothing to do with that. But he is so desperate right now, and he really wants that seat. He's now telling you, I didn't evict anyone. It is written in the paper. I didn't do this. Well, Senator, you did. And it's okay to speak the truth. Do not bear false witness, Senator. Do not bear false witness.
All right. Mr. Walker, to keep this moving, I want to follow up with you. You have been very open.
Okay. By the way, Warnock, as a pastor, was getting a monthly housing allowance of $7,500, so I don't think he had trouble paying his rent during that time.
I think you just exaggerated the money that they were giving him for housing allowance.
Oh, what was it?
$7,400 a month. 74.
What did I say?
You said 75.
I apologize.
Yeah.
My bad.
So, don't lie.
Yep.
Don't lie.
We have time for this last clip here. The Braves nickname here, if you want to hit that one real fast.
All right.
Because he won't take a stand.
Do you think they should rethink their name, their logo,
That's
or their
a big issue there.
cheer?
Well, first of all, I'm praying for the Braves right about now.
Yeah, well, that didn't work.
They've got a ways to go here.
Yeah.
Listen, the management of the Braves is meeting with our tribes, and they're having a conversation about this.
Yeah, but what are your thoughts on it?
I know the folks over at the Braves organization, and I trust that they and the tribes that they're talking to will come to a place that makes sense for all involved.
Yeah, I've heard
what a non-answer.
Yeah, that and I've heard the chief of the Cherokee Nation on the Braves games all the time. He's cool with them. He loves the organization. They have a great relationship.
Which is why they're really not under fire to change normally. I mean, usually the Braves kind of get a pass, like Florida State, right? Because the Seminoles are also.
So, Senator, what's your take on the Braves nickname? Should they change it?
Well, I trust that that they'll figure that out.
Matt Gray, the Blaze Radio Network. Pat Gray Unleashed.
Got some tweets here. This from Spicy McHaggis. Pat, you may want to go to this year's Montana State Championship game. Thanks to climate change, it will likely be a balmy 4 below this year. Oh, well, then that's really pleasant.
That's like swimsuit weather.
Yeah, it
in
is.
Montana.
Yes, it is. Biden's butt wiper. The Tennessee fans were closer to an insurrection than those locked up for meandering on January 6th.
Oh, yeah. You know what? Somebody sent me, speaking of January 6th, do we have the picture, Rob, in front of the Capitol? Look, okay, so see this? So this is the tweet that was sent to me. Nancy Pelosi randomly had a film crew in her office at the Capitol on January 6th, and her son-in-law came over from Europe to film and pose with the shaman guy, the QAnon shaman on the Capitol steps. Yeah, don't worry, though. Nancy had nothing to do with anything planning-wise. Yeah, so...
That's a great point.
That is very interesting. I didn't even think about that because we have the video, from last week where she's like, I want to punch Trump. And this is what we've been waiting for. Yes, they're storming the Capitol.
Right.
Man, I didn't even think of why is a film crew in there to capture it all.
Interesting. Holy smokes tweets. I want to see Biden, Fetterwoman, and Pelosi play a game of telephone. Not a joke. I mean it. Repeat the line. From Pathead T, the Reduction Inflation Act doesn't do anything on drug prices until 2027.
No, I didn't know that.
Wow.
And he's out there bragging about it like it's already happening.
Yep.
Oh, gosh.
From Postmaster Jeffy, remember when Trump got destroyed in the media for saying how much American housewives hate crappy, high-efficiency dishwashers that don't get hot and leave your dishes wet?
Yeah. Yeah, this is why I bought a washing machine at the end of Trump's presidency, because I knew these green efficiency things were going to come right back. I mean, how do you operate a business in a climate with a country like ours that just swings back and forth on these regulations, back and forth, pro-freedom, over-regulation, pro-free? I mean, it's insanity.
We have one of those high-efficiency dishwashers, and it does leave them wet at the top of the glass all the time. Like if you put the glass in upside down, inevitably there's water on the top, which is actually the bottom of the glass or cup. And it pisses me off. It's like, okay, now I got to dry them after I went through a, hour dry cycle?
And then it's just like with the toilets, man. You got to... So you end up spending more resources and money to get this stuff taken care of than you would have if they've just left everything alone.
Yep. From Comrade Snoobage, my inflation reduction plan. Buy a whole bunch of coffee makers with Kohl's Cash, get tax credit, then return after tax day.
Nice. I like it.
Not a bad idea. Okay, so John Fetterman. We just went through the Georgia race a little bit with their debate between Herschel Walker and Raphael Warnock. Now we got another Senate race, this one in Pennsylvania, of course. Mehmet Oz, John Fetterman, he was back out in public sounding fantastic. See, there's nothing wrong with him.
Oh, good. So he's better.
Fantastic.
He's better now.
Yeah, check this out.
Send me to Washington, D.C. Take on to make sure I push back against work to work.
Right? Okay. Work to work.
Wait. Make sure I push back on
work to work? Yeah, that's like, I think that's a lot like
and the Eagles are so much better
than
the Eagles.
The Eagles. Yeah. No. It's not work to work either. Is he talking about right to work? Is that what it is? You could push back on right to work? Because that's not a big, labor union thing. I don't know. I don't know what he's trying to say there. Who knows? But he's going to push back on work to work. So you got that going for you, Pennsylvania. Congratulations.
Push back on work to work.
Oh, man. Here's just a few other wonderful things that Fetterman has had to say.
Oh, he's done this kind of stuff before?
Yeah.
This guy that you just played?
Yeah. Yeah.
Oh, really?
I mean, he's been brilliant multiple times.
Okay.
The Eagles are so much better than the Eagles.
It's even more fun to see.
Yeah.
First, I just wanted to check in and see how you're feeling and how you're doing.
Mm-hmm.
I'm doing fantastic, and it's not about kicking balls in the authority or anything. And make sure you take advantage of this amazing opportunity to. The only thing you have stand to lose is your record. What is wrong with demanding for an easy, safe kind of their income?
What?
A path to a safe place for them to win. And I can champion
That was
the union way
profound.
of life
Union way
in Jersey, in D.C.
Or,
If you come out
Right.
and step with us, we will be able to stand with you in D.C.
Okay. Well, there you go. Choice is clear. You know, you could be kicking balls in the authority. Or,
I'd sign up for that.
Of course. I mean, who wouldn't? A few minutes.
Man, he needs a nap or something. This is not. No, this is unacceptable. America should be pissed.
Completely
because
unacceptable.
that is. I mean, his vote is going to affect you and me just as much as it's going to affect people in Pennsylvania.
Exactly.
Get him
right.
out.
Yeah.
I don't care what you do. Just get him out because Pennsylvania is showing that they don't care what the law is there. They just had a ruling that said, no, we'll totally accept ballots that aren't signed, don't have a date, whatever. We don't care what the thing says. We're doing it. So you can, whatever your law says about candidates this late, you can change because that's how you operate in Pennsylvania. Put any other Pennsylvanian on the ballot, please.
At his rally over the weekend, he told the crowd he wanted to address the elephant in the room. I'm surprised he got that expression right. But he said, I had a stroke. You all know that. I got to give a loco. Excuse me. Local shout out to Penn Medicine for saving my life. Then he explained that sometimes he stumbles over his words and has auditory processing issues. Let's put him right in the U.S. Senate then. He asked rallygoers to raise their hand if they or someone they loved had to deal with a serious health issue. Nearly every hand went up. He should have continued to say, okay, now, how many of those people are running for the United States Senate? And see how many hands went up then. Because I guarantee it's none. He's the only one. Messed up like this, running for the U.S. Senate.
This is unacceptable.
And his wife is all pissed off for NBC even bringing it up. She basically said that the NBC reporter is an ableist for mentioning his problems. And that something should be done about that person at NBC. For instance, should be fired for bringing it up. Can you believe this? I mean, you can't bring it up that a United States Senate candidate is all messed up after a stroke, and we're going to put him in office? How insane is that?
This is a bizarro world. I mean, you just read through that.
It is.
And, the takeaway isn't that an invalid is this close to being in the U.S. Senate, elected into the U.S. Senate. It's not that someone wants this reporter fired for exposing the behind the scenes of his way his brain operates. It's the fact that dude's married for real. John Fetterman is married and he was living in his parents' basement and 50 years old with a wife.
I guess so. I don't know how long he's been married. We should look into that because that's an interesting point.
Yeah,
I'd love to know.
Let me find out
how long that's been going on.
Hang on a second here. By the way, big debate day today around the country. You got Mike Lee versus Evan McMullin out in Utah for the Senate seat. And by the way, Democrats funding well over, I think it's close to $2 million that they've been funneling to Evan McMullin. No shocker there. Wonder who he'd caucus with if he gets to D.C. Brian Kemp and Stacey Abrams for the governorship of Georgia. They debate tonight.
All right.
Who's the other one here? The Iowa race. And J.D. Vance is doing another debate with Tim Ryan. Can you believe that?
No.
In Ohio.
All right.
Right? Is that? Yeah. So let's see here. He has been married, John Fetterman, spouse, 2008.
Wow.
So they were.
So, yeah.
Oh, that was his wife behind him on that one clip there. She knows what's up. She doesn't want the cat getting out of the bag.
They've been kicking balls in the authority. So,
I'd vote for him if that was a campaign promise.
That he'll kick balls in the authority?
In the authority.
Huh, all right. Okay.
Man, what a world.
Yeah.
I can't even believe we have to discuss somebody like this being this close to the U.S. Senate seat.
Right. It's a new day in America. Because 5 years ago, I don't think this would have happened. 5 years ago, they'd be like, no, I'm sorry. We're going to put somebody up against him. The Democrats would have voted for the other person. He wouldn't have won the primary. And we wouldn't have to worry about this,
If you're a Democrat in Pennsylvania, are you telling me this is the best you've got?
The best you've got.
Really?
Is a guy who almost died from a stroke and is still suffering the obvious effects from it, where he can't even speak properly. He's got to have things printed for him because he's all messed up, and you're going to send him to the U.S. Senate. I can't. I just can't. So let me tell you about iTarget Pro. If there was ever a story that best encapsulated how bad crime has become, it's maybe the one about Starbucks providing baristas with active shooter training because our cities just aren't safe anymore. And while the Supreme Court has made it easier for you to conceal carry for protection, it's your responsibility to be properly trained. That's why I endorse iTarget Pro. This system allows you to drive fire practice with your actual firearm anytime in the safety and privacy of your own home. You don't have to go to the firing range. You don't have to search around for ammunition to see if they even have it. And then when they do, if they do, it's incredibly expensive. No, all you have to do is download iTarget's proprietary app, load the laser bullet into your firearm, start training.
So cool.
Really fun.
And anybody can do this.
Yeah. And you can share this experience with your kids because it's completely safe.
Right there in the living room.
Improved muscle memory, reaction speed, sight alignment, trigger control, lots more. iTarget Pro comes in all the major calibers, including .223, so you can practice with your AR-15. Save 10% and get free shipping when you use the offer code PAT. When you go to itargetpro.com right now. That's the letter I, then targetpro.com. itargetpro.com, offer code PAT.
This is Pat Gray Unleashed.
All right. We know that Joe Biden is depleting our strategic oil reserve. But is he also depleting our military hardware? We have sent so much military aid to Ukraine, experts are becoming concerned that we don't have enough for us now.
Oh. And never mind what he left behind in Afghanistan.
Right. Another... What they said initially was $80 billion. Now they say $6 or $8 billion or something. But in the beginning, they said $80 billion worth of equipment was left behind in Afghanistan. And now we've sent billions and billions and billions, tens of billions of dollars to Ukraine, and there's no end in sight. Apparently, the U.S. needs to seriously invest more in weapons and ammunition if it wants to continue to support Ukraine and brace for conflict with other great powers. Global efforts to support Ukraine's resistance to the Russian invasion have triggered billions in spending to bolster Ukraine's military, depleting U.S. stocks and raising concerns that the West may cripple its military opposite the rising threat from China.
Yeah.
U.S. will have to drastically ramp up production or otherwise risk further weakening the U.S. arsenal and adversely affecting America's ability to react to dangers from China and other potential foes. I mean, that's inconceivable. that we would do that. Inconceivable.
Well, on that front, I mean, China this weekend, the saber rattling continues toward both Hong Kong, Taiwan. In fact,
he's proud of the Hong Kong thing.
Yeah, Xi this week is going to get his unprecedented third term, but that's okay. We've stopped sending stuff to Ukraine, right?
No.
Oh, we haven't?
No, we have not.
Oh, you mean that we have a fresh batch this weekend? Oh my gosh!
Yes.
How wonderful is that news?
The U.S. Department of Defense authorized
help us
yet another
Lord help us
$725 million worth of security assistance for Ukraine. I mean, we just did another $12 billion bill. That was followed up by $600 million the next week. And now another $725 million.
You got it.
Additional ammunition for high-mobility artillery rocket systems. 23,000 155-millimeter artillery rounds, 500 precision-guided 155-millimeter artillery rounds, 5,000 155-millimeter rounds of remote anti-armor mine systems, the RAM systems, 5,000 anti-tank weapons.
Okay.
High-speed anti-radiation missiles, the HARMs. Number 7, more than 200 high-mobility multi-purpose wheeled vehicles. Okay. And small arms, and more than 2 million rounds of small arms ammunition, and, of course, medical supplies.
And that was just this past weekend.
Just the weekend.
Okay. So what we're saying...
I'm sure by tomorrow there'll be more.
China, if you're going to attack us, could you please attack us in Ukraine? Because all of our
That's
stuff
where
is
our stuff is, yeah. Either Ukraine or Afghanistan, where we've left all our stuff. So, yeah, and he bragged about the fact that I'm not taking anything off the table in attacking Taiwan either. Yeah, we'd like to maybe pursue peaceful means to reunification, but we're not taking force off the table.
Yeah, what did he say? He said we want a state-of-the-art or something like that, military force, and you're thinking, wait, is it not already the case? You're going to make it better? Oh.
Yep. So we got that going for us. 888-900-3393. More Pat Gray Unleashed coming up. With some tweets. Mistress Jojo tweets, let's put Biden and Fetterman in a senior center and see who can come up with a complete sentence first. Waiting for it.
Oh, no.
Jeffy's Meat Sweats, new Pat Gray show idea. Who said it, Biden or Fetterwoman? Give an incoherent quote and let the public choose which slobbering vegetable said it.
That's great. Do we have the Steve Deace quote, our tweet from over the weekend, Rob? Do you have that available? I thought this was great here. From my perspective, I can't lose in the Pennsylvania Senate race. Either the seat goes red or Dr. Oz once and for all drives a stake through the GOP technocratic consultant vampire's electability heart if he can't beat a walking VAERS report. Because you remember, that should have been Kathy Barnett. That would have been her versus Fetterman. Instead, the consultants, as Steve Deace is referring to, you can hear later today on The Blaze, is saying that, this is the guy who's most electable.
Right.
And he's losing to a VAERS report.
It's agonizing.
Yep.
The wife of Fetterman is pissed because she's an illegal and has something to gain by him being in office. Is she illegal? I didn't know that.
I looked her up and I saw...
Did not know that.
From Brazil, but that's...
Okay.
I don't know about legal status. Interesting.
Speaking of Fetterman's wife, some illegal immigrants will do anything to stay in America, and that includes marrying an ogre and living in his rich parents' basement with him.
Wow, an ogre. She married Shrek.
Oh, man.
At least Shrek was likable.
And from Ape Lincoln, Fetterman's wife is just as bad as Jill Biden. Your husband needs help. Quit using them.
Yep.
That's a great point. Jeez.
Elder abuse.
Yeah.
Well, except for in this case,
or abuse of of an invalid right now.
Yeah. Either way, you're abusing someone who needs to be in recovery.
We were just talking a few minutes ago about maybe the U.S. sending so much stuff to Ukraine that we're running out of things for ourselves. In a separate story, just found this. The U.S. is pretty much run out of 155 millimeter howitzers and 155 millimeter ammunition after sending roughly 900,000 of the highly effective rounds to Ukraine. Oh, good. Okay, great.
What?
Great. The problem isn't that there isn't money. The problem is that the DOD is a bit slow putting that money on contract. And then, of course, the equipment will have to be produced. The stuff we're promising them hasn't even been produced yet. That's how short we are on all of this stuff right now.
Oh, no.
Accelerated production for systems like Javelins. The Javelins. This is important stuff. Should have begun in May, not in September, when the Pentagon finally put in a request to Congress. They were just late, slow to react to events. Whose fault is that? If Trump were in office, I wonder if he would have, mentioned to the Pentagon, hey, get off your dead butts. Get this stuff going here. Put in the request.
So we involved ourselves in a war without the means to back up what we're promising.
Right.
That sounds wise.
Isn't that great? Yeah, it's great. Don't worry about it. I'm sure everything's fine. Everything's fine. What could go wrong?
Doesn't feel
what
fine.
What could go wrong in the world? Nothing. Everything's fine other than Russia and Ukraine. There's no other problem going on right now. So that's the good thing.
And we can't even send the stuff we promised to Russia and Ukraine.
Right. That's right. Also, Alaska has canceled snow crab season, threatening a key economic driver in the state.
This is weird.
For the first time, crews in Alaska won't be braving ice and sea spray to pluck snow crab from the Bering Sea. The Alaska Department of Fish and Game canceled the snow crab season earlier this week after a catastrophic population crash of the sizable crustaceans. The red king crab season was canceled for a second year in a row, making it a two-pronged disaster for Alaska's economy and for those whose livelihoods rely on crab.
So we got no red crab and no snow crab.
Right.
Wow.
Yeah.
That sucks.
Yeah. $1 billion loss, apparently.
$1 billion loss and a billion
Overall.
crabs taken or just vanished or whatever. That sounds like some big overhead there, right? I mean, if it's $1 billion and there's 1 billion crabs, is $1 a crab? Because that's not what I'm paying.
That's not what we pay at the restaurant. I'll tell you that.
So what's causing this disappearance?
Alaskan ecosystems, which are warming faster than other regions because of their proximity to the North Pole.
Wait, what?
Have been roiled by marine heat waves and other impacts made more likely by climate change.
There it is.
They're made more likely by climate change.
There we go. I still don't follow the North Pole proximity issue.
No, I don't.
What's going on at the North Pole?
I guess it's so hot at the North Pole that Alaska's being warmed up by the heat there.
That's what the North Pole is known for.
Mm-hmm.
They've got like just this
Isn't
big
it though?
Radiator vent up there, or whatever it is,
But apparently, according to a boat captain who's fished this area for years, it's going to be life-changing, if not career-changing, career-ending for people, he said. Snow crab since the late 1970s. A lot of these guys with families and kids, there's no option other than getting out. That's where the hammer is going to fall, on the crew. Officials hope a halt to this year's crab harvest will boost both species. At this point, little more can be done. The snow crab collapse came as a surprise. Each season, commercial trawlers complete surveys that estimate species abundance and assess stock. The National Marine Fisheries Service and Alaska Department of Fish and Game co-manage the crab fisheries. And so 1 billion crab are gone? That's weird. Do we know that for a fact, or are they just in a different place right now?
Yeah, maybe they just moved.
Maybe they moved.
Because they went out to sea, I guess to get a sample or whatever, and they're like, hey, there's no crabs. Multiply that times whatever. What do you got, 1 billion? Okay, tell them there's missing 1 billion.
Yeah. They disappeared.
Yeah.
A billion crab just disappeared.
And I see all these stories where they're like, yeah, we don't know what's caused it. But then I see...
But it's made more likely by climate change.
Right. In the same stories, it says, yeah, climate change. Sorry, y'all. Climate change is just the default answer for so many of these morons that don't know anything.
Everything. These eco-freaks are all over the place lately. In London, the climate activists have defiled Van Gogh's sunflowers at the National Gallery and glued themselves to the wall. They splashed soup.
Yeah, let's see this. Yeah.
On an $84 million painting. There it is.
Oh no.
And now they're getting out there.
Security of sorts.
Now they're getting out their glue and they're going to glue themselves to the wall.
I would rip that hand right off.
Oh my gosh,
I just don't
yes.
even care.
I don't care.
I don't care if your fingerprints are left behind.
You did it. So we're removing you. And by the way, morons,
what?
The painting is covered by glass. So
wait, they didn't just ruin the painting?
You're just going to get a little Windex and wipe that right on.
Oh, you should clean it in front of them while they're stuck to the wall.
Right.
Look at this, y'all.
Right. You think they're going to just leave an $84 million painting up on the wall completely unprotected?
Hold on, can we?
So morons like you can ruin it?
Can we see the opening shot of that? I just want to see the painting before they ruin it there. I'm sorry, before they splash the...
There it is.
84 million?
Yeah, for
if that were in like
sunflowers.
some blue hair's home, I would think, what a old nasty painting. I don't care about that. 84 million for that?
Yes.
Yeah, what is up with...
I don't get that either.
I don't understand how we put value on stuff.
Yeah, I don't get it.
And how, like Glenn warned us a decade ago. He's like, art and collectibles are going to become more and more expensive. Okay, but why? Like I can't eat that painting.
No.
Did you see the Aaron Judge home run ball? He was offered $2 million. He now has an attorney and a lot of collector houses and stuff saying, oh yeah, that's going to get between $4 and $5 million.
Oh,
I mean,
wow.
If let's just say I'm a Braves fan, okay?
Yep.
Let's say that this was an Atlanta Brave and I caught that ball. I would have absolutely no attachment to it whatsoever if you said, I'll give you $4 or $5 million. I mean, this guy is just walking around with a retirement fund.
Yeah.
I would have probably just handed it over that first night for $2 million.
Oh, I would have for sure.
Right? I mean, I wouldn't be sitting.
I'm not waiting. I'm not waiting to see.
Right.
I'm taking the first concrete offer over $1 million. Absolutely.
That is.
Yeah. That's incredible.
That's incredible. Good for him.
But I mean, that's a drop in the bucket compared to the sunflowers.
$84 million for the
for the painting.
And I would value the baseball more than the painting.
Oh, me too. No question.
See, I just don't understand how we calculate
I don't either.
Value on some of this stuff.
No.
I don't get it.
But I also want to know, how did two morons like that get soup into this museum?
Good question.
Where you got $84 million paintings on the wall. Why do you allow them to bring soup into the building? Bizarre.
Yeah, I wonder how
it's
they
just bizarre.
Concealed it. I'm sure there's details out there because remember they got the super glue out of their bra, so they had to sneak that stuff in.
Yeah.
That reminds me, there was this guy once, and somebody was recording behind him, like a row behind him at a baseball game, and he takes this big sandwich out of his like Ziploc bag. And he takes the top off and gets all the meat and the cheese and the lettuce off, and inside is this flask. And he's just getting ready to go to town and drink it. And he looks back and he sees the guy recording him. I mean, maybe they got it in somehow like that. I don't know. But, wow, $84 million for that, huh?
$84 million.
Okay, but yeah, it's...
That's not even Van Gogh's most expensive painting. But
what is he? What's the other one? What I got?
I don't know. He's like up to $150 million on... I don't remember which one. 150 million, maybe more than that.
Okay, that's...
Remember? We had this story not too long ago.
See. Oh, the 10 most expensive Vincent van Gogh paintings. Okay, so I don't know when this story printed, but yeah, let's see. Yeah, well, that's getting up there, though.
Is it?
Yeah.
Isn't there a $150 million one?
I don't know.
Because I think somebody just paid that recently.
Well, then somebody's
maybe that's
dumb.
old. Yeah.
Now you're just showing
it's
up.
Unbelievable. Also, eco-activists spray-painted an Aston Martin showroom in London hours after they were branded thugs and vandals by UK Home Security. Jeez. They're upset, apparently, that Britain's new prime minister wants to drill for oil way out in the ocean where you can't even see it. But here they are. Here's a look at that.
This guy.
Spray painting the Aston Martin showroom. Well, the outside of it, anyway. And nobody's stopping this guy? Come on. How do you do it for that long and nobody challenges you? Hit this kid in the face. Somebody stop him.
He will not be stopped by injunctions that are intended to silence.
Oh, shut up.
Protest. We're a non-violent civil disobedience movement. We know that the changes in the laws, the injunctions against us, are irrelevant.
He should be forced to clean all that immediately.
Yeah, with his mouth.
With his tongue, yeah. Yeah, with his tongue.
With their 100 new fossil fuel licenses
Oh, shut
in the
up.
North Sea.
Oh, jeez.
Okay, so
Moron.
hold on. They went after. Did they go after the Van Gogh painting because it was oil? The oil.
That's the only thing I can figure out. Yeah, it's an oil painting, and so they're splashing it with soup because he painted with oil. Yeah,
That's confirmed in the other room. Yeah,
Yeah.
that was their whole thing. Man, that is a long way to the well.
It sure is.
Okay,
You look like an idiot.
I found the
Lame.
most expensive Van Gogh painting. You
All
were
right.
right. It's 152.
That's what I thought. Yeah.
Let's see.
And
hang
which
on.
one is it?
It's the portrait of Dr. Gachet. Or Gachet, I don't know. Look at that. 152 million will get you that, huh? You hang that in the old doctor's office?
I honestly don't get
Look
it.
at that.
I really don't.
Right. I don't either, Pat.
I mean, I could have told you, Vincent, this world was never meant for one as beautiful as you. I mean, look at your paintings.
You get some
Incredible.
Get some old guy to sit there like this.
Mm-hmm.
Don't move. I'm going to paint that. And I'm going to sell it right here. $152 million for this.
Incredible. I mean, it's really incredible. 888-900-3393. Let me tell you about real estate agents I trust. Because when you sell your home, there's a lot of stress that goes with it. You really want to sell that home quickly and for the most amount of money. In order to do that, you need a realtor who's going to give you really good advice on what you should do to get your home ready to sell. Do you need to repaint the house? Do you need to remodel a bedroom or a bathroom or the kitchen? Are you going to get your money out of that if you do? These are the kinds of things you're looking for in a real estate agent. Real Estate Agents I Trust is Glenn's company, and he and his team have carefully vetted all of these agents across the country to make sure that they're going to do right by you, that they're going to be a competitive winning machine for you, and make sure that your homes get sold quickly and for the most amount of money. And then, conversely, if you're buying a house, that you get the most house for your money. Real Estate Agents I Trust. The name says it all. realestateagentsitrust.com.
This is Pat Gray.
888-900-3393. Another Western country has fallen prey to the Great Reset. Isn't that wonderful? This happens to be New Zealand. The world first policy will begin charging farmers for agricultural emissions, including the methane burped out by cows and sheep,
Oh, no.
as well as the nitrous oxide found in livestock urine in some form by 2025. That's going to happen. A consultation on the plans was launched on Tuesday, will end November 18th. Jacinda Ardern. Jacinda Ardern.
She's good.
She's awesome. We've talked about her before. She heads up New Zealand's Labour Party. She's pledged to reduce methane emissions by 10% by 2030 and make the country carbon neutral by 2050. Boy. Now, how do you reduce methane emissions by 10%?
It's good.
I mean, it's coming from animals. How are you going to stop them from burping or farting? How is that going to happen? I don't understand this unless you kill them all.
Yeah, you destroy an industry. You make sure that there's no need for them. I'm sorry. There'll always be a need for them. Make sure that there aren't any, like you said.
Yeah. That's the only way to do it. Are you going to reduce the cattle and sheep population by 10%?
Yeah, so in New Zealand, her administration got together with farmers and stuff to try to come up with a plan. And so when the government released this plan after consulting with these farmers and ranchers in New Zealand, they felt betrayed because now there's stuff in there like, we're going to totally plant trees where your fields are. Yeah, we're totally cutting your industry and making it non-existent, even though it makes up 5% of our economy.
Well, they're arguing the policies would rip the guts out of small-town New Zealand by encouraging the conversion of livestock into trees.
See?
Oh, okay.
So bad.
Good. Okay, so we're going to kill the livestock and plant trees. Good. And then are you going to eat the trees afterwards? Because
you're going to look at them.
Yeah.
You're just going to look at them.
I'm thinking as food shortages are being discussed, this is the last freaking thing you want to do. Is start killing your livestock.
Yeah, but you're not a prime minister.
No, I'm not.
President.
No, you're right.
So you don't
right
know.
about that. I don't know. What do I know?
Qualified to have that opinion.
That's right. It's true. Agriculture is one of New Zealand's biggest industries. The next biggest is the Lord of the Rings.
Yeah.
I mean, that's all New Zealand's known for, right? That's where we filmed. That's where they filmed Lord of the Rings. And I want to go there and see those places.
And that's where they took guns away and promptly saw their crime spike.
Right. So it makes up around 5% of the economy. A huge majority of New Zealand's farms raise cows and sheep, with dairy and meat among the country's biggest exports.
But you don't need that stuff.
Jeez.
You got to figure out how to make it without dairy and meat because,
Yeah.
you got to have bugs in your diet instead.
So Ardern's plans have revitalized the fart tax proposal that was first floated by former Prime Minister Helen Clark almost 2 decades ago.
That's crazy.
It was brilliant then.
About this for 20 years.
Even more brilliant now. Am I right?
Fart tax.
Clark's tax was abandoned after hundreds of farmers, along with their tractors and cows, descended on the capital city of Wellington to protest.
Do it again. I guarantee
and I'll bet you yes, they're fixing to make a big stink out of the cow fart tax. See what I did there?
Good. I do, yeah. Mm-hmm. I appreciate it when you mix in some Southern lingo.
If you think you've heard it all about climate change, you haven't. Scientists have warned for decades of the deadly impacts of human-caused climate change here on Earth.
Sure.
And according to a new study, Mars may offer an example of the damage that can occur to life itself because of the greenhouse gas effect. Okay, so who's responsible for this on Mars?
You are.
I am?
Yeah.
Oh, wow.
Mm-hmm.
Wow, I didn't realize.
Or Jeffy.
Okay.
Who also doubles as Jupiter, as you see there on our updated solar system chart.
Okay. The environment of Mars' early days, some 3.7 to 4.1 billion years ago, was likely favorable to allowing life to thrive. Yeah, apparently there was a thick atmosphere like we have. It was much warmer. The summers were like San Francisco, temperature-wise. Specifically, simple microbial organisms that ate up hydrogen and carbon dioxide and released methane. That's what happened there. And these kinds of microbes are common on Earth today, living in extreme environments such as hydrothermal vents along the ocean floor. But that method of consumption is also what may have led to the life form's demise.
So we need to back off of man-made global warming.
Yeah.
Martians did it too.
They did it too. It happened there, completely killed everything on the planet.
So back off.
Jeez. And, the Earth is completely capable of doing that because the climate does change here on a fairly regular basis. It's cyclical. Goes into modes, comes out of them. That's why there's been ice ages many, many times. And that's why there's not an ice age right now, because it got warmer. So we have very little to do with affecting the climate on this planet. But University of Arizona researchers created hypothetical scenarios of Martian ecosystems using models of Mars crust, their atmosphere and climate, as well as the ecological model of methane-producing microbes.
Sure, so they're just guessing. Hypothetical models.
Well, of course they're guessing. You can't know what happened 4 billion years ago on Mars. But they guess that climate change killed life there.
Okay, and does it say, where's the part about the factories on Mars that they built that probably sped up this process?
And the FU wave that killed that planet.
Boy, tragic, man.
Tragic.
We should have learned that lesson from Mars.
I know.
Pat Gray.
Beloved Harry Potter actor Robbie Coltrane died Friday. He is the person who played Hagrid on Harry Potter.
Man, that stinks.
And transgender activists wasted no time in excoriating him because he once defended J.K. Rowling.
Are you kidding me?
Nope. I mean, this is unbelievable. Here's what he said back in September of 2020 in reference to all the attacks on J.K. Rowling. He said, I don't think what she said was offensive, really. I don't know why, but there's a whole Twitter generation of people who hang around waiting to be offended. They wouldn't have won the war, would they?
No.
That's me talking like a grumpy old man, but you just think, oh, get over yourself, wise up, stand up straight, and carry on. I don't want to get involved in all of that because of all the hate mail and all that stuff, which I don't need at my time of life, he said. So he defended her, and so the trolls came out and wrote these kinds of things on Twitter. Robbie Coltrane defended she who must not be named in her transphobia. Glad to know the world has one less transphobe today because of his passing.
Oh my gosh, these people.
Your reminder that Robbie Coltrane sided with a massive transphobe, and I hope he's looking up at us.
Oh, that's cute. I love it when they do that.
Robbie Coltrane, who supported an effing transphobe, died, and I guess people want me to be sad about it. F that noise, I don't care. Robbie Coltrane was a privileged transphobe that uplifted Joanne's violent transphobic campaign. I hope he rots in whatever hell exists. Okay, none of that's hateful, though, right? That's not... They can't be hateful, I guess. You're glad that a human being died, and you're talking about him rotting in hell. Why? Because he defended somebody he cares about and likes? I mean, these people are despicable. And I guess it's fine, though. It's fine for them to be despicable and spew this kind of hatred. But man, if you say anything about what's going on in this world, then you're just the worst person that's ever lived, and you're hateful.
Do we know how he died? Did it say?
It did not say, as far as I could see.
How old was he?
72.
Oh, that's young.
Yeah, he's not that old. 72. So what are you thinking?
I'm just
wondering.
I'm just wondering,
if he had all his shots, aren't you?
Oh, oh, that's an interesting take,
isn't it?
Yeah. Huh. That is interesting.
Yeah.
72.
There's another guy.
Didn't even cross my mind. Actually, every death that crosses my mind. Let's be honest. If they're younger than 75, it's the first thing I think of.
Oh, the big bodybuilding dude, Doug Brignoli, also died recently. I think just over the weekend. And he was only 62. So what'd he die of? I don't know, but here's what he said.
Oh, no.
What, a little over a year ago?
April of 2021, when the old, trying to guilt us into getting the vaccine.
Right. He said, I have enough confidence in the vaccine based on my research to get it done. Those of you who think the vaccine kills people can use me as a test.
Okay.
If I die, you were right. Okay, I guess we were right.
Oh, man, I love being
He died.
right. I love that, being right.
If I don't die and have no ill effects, you were wrong and should admit it, at least to yourselves. Better yet, you should admit that you were misled and tell the world who misled you so other people can benefit by avoiding those fearmongers.
Oh, I hated he died. I do like being right, though.
Too. I know.
Look at that headline. Like you said, bodybuilder and fitness author Doug Brignoli, is that right?
I think so.
Has passed away at
63. Okay, so he wasn't 62. He was 63 years old.
But we don't know what caused the death of that individual?
We do not. But, what a weird tweet this is to begin with, because if he dies, you were right. Well, not necessarily. Could die from something else.
At some point, you're going to die, bro.
Yeah. And if you didn't die, that doesn't mean we were wrong, because we didn't say everybody dies.
Right.
Nobody's ever said that. So, I mean, it's a stupid tweet to begin with. But, here it is a year later, and we lost him. And it doesn't say any cause of death here.
Yeah, Robbie Coltrane, by the way, had been ill for the last 2 years, so I don't know what's going on with him.
Like cancer or something, probably.
Man, I hate that.
Really sad.
Yeah. I mean, it's a beloved character, too. Hagrid. Okay, but then we got this bodybuilder guy. Okay. Huh.
I'm sure that's just a massive coincidence that he did die after saying, if I die, you were right.
Yeah, I would never put something out there like that.
No, that's dumb.
You're just tempting fate at that point.
Yes, you are.
You're like,
kind of.
And you're not around. And you're not around to say, wait. No, it wasn't from that.
Right,
bro.
Right.
We'll put that out there in the universe.
And you would think, somebody in his family might do that. Say, hey, no, he had cancer, or he had pneumonia, or
make up something at this point.
Make something up. He got hit by a truck. I don't know.
Defend his honor at this point.
Yeah.
Give him some heinous disease. Anything, so it doesn't look like he was bringing this upon himself.
Exactly. All right. Pro-choice vandals in Michigan have been caught on video spray painting a church. I'm sure nothing will happen to them.
What do you mean nothing will happen to them? Justice is swift in this country when you attack a religious institution.
You're right.
Of the Christian persuasion.
You're right. Man, they get right on it. What have there been? 150 of those cases? And I think they're right on all of them. Right on them. Pro-choice vandals wrote, "Abort the court" and "Death to Christian nationalism" on Michigan sidewalks outside the Church of Resurrection.
Okay.
All right.
Can we hold the Biden administration accountable?
Yes, we
can. They're the ones that keep wrongly saying,
yes,
Christian nationalism, white supremacy, they're linked at the hip.
Yeah, so tired of it. I'm just really tired of all this stuff. And speaking of Michigan, Tudor Dixon is running against Gretchen Whitmer for governor in that state. And they just debated. Here's a little highlight from that debate.
Ooh.
I think Tudor Dixon's actually in this race.
What do you think you would have done differently if you were governor?
Well, the governor wants you to believe that she did listen to the experts, but we have the letter from the Nursing Home Association that said, whatever you do, don't send COVID-positive patients into nursing homes. And yet the governor did. When Andrew Cuomo even backed off of this, Governor Whitmer doubled down. She even tried to hide the final report of the numbers of how many deaths we had. In fact, she's tried to hide a lot from this pandemic. She tried to hide, or she did hide, effectively, why her Department of Health and Human Services director left. In fact, she even paid him off with a secrecy agreement. The same with unemployment. What a debacle to have $8.5 billion fraudulently sent out. Now I've got people bringing bills from the state up to me, begging me to forgive the unemployment that she's trying to get out back because she accidentally sent $8.5 billion out. And what about our students that she kept locked out of schools and wouldn't listen to parents when they begged her to let them play? Let them play. She wouldn't even listen.
I'd like to hear how Whitmer responded to that. That's interesting. Wow.
Well, here's the last three polls. You ready? And they all span recently.
Yeah.
October 3rd to October 12th. Whitmer was +6, Whitmer +11, and then a tie.
Wow. Really?
That is quite a swing.
So it was going up, and then all of a sudden she tanked.
So Whitmer, exactly. So that +11 for Whitmer was October 6th through 12th.
Uh-huh.
And then one poll that was just done on the 12th is a tie, according to Real Clear Politics.
Wow.
So
I hope that's right.
An average of 5.7 lead for Whitmer, for what that's worth. But I love that. Yeah, we accidentally sent out some free money for you. Can we get that back now?
Yeah, just $8 billion, though. $8.5 billion, that's not bad. Of course, there's going to be a little fraud in all of these kinds of things. And just a little bit of fraud going on. $8.5 billion worth here in Michigan. Don't worry about it.
Now's your chance to
It's
get rid
hardly
of
anything.
that tyrant there in Michigan.
Yeah, she's the worst. She's really, really
she
bad.
was one of, she was at the
She
top
was one of the absolute worst.
Her, Cuomo,
right there with Cuomo.
And Newsom.
Yeah.
Those were your trifecta of suck.
Well, they caused how many deaths? I mean, thousands between them. It's just thousands with Cuomo alone, and I'm sure it must have been something similar with Whitmer as well. Then we've got Anthony Fauci saying over the weekend that he gave it everything he had as he heads into retirement.
Oh, let's see. Do we have the pictures? I posted on Twitter just kind of like a rundown of all the good moments, just there's the Fauci legacy right there. Dr. Fauci, you're killing us. He's got the beagles in the net getting eaten alive after cutting out their tongue so they couldn't scream for help. There he is in Style magazine, sitting by a pool, looking like the douche that he is. And there he is at a Washington Nationals game with his wife and friend who are wearing masks while he has his pulled down, just chuckles, and says later, "Oh, I was eating." What, your phone? Because that's what's in your hand, not food, bro. I can't stand the man. I want him to go away forever.
Yeah.
But he's still making rounds.
I cannot wait to find out the actual numbers that he has enjoyed in his paycheck over the last, 30 or 40 years.
Not paycheck, but you're talking about from his investments.
Yes. Mm-hmm. I'm talking about from Pfizer and Moderna and the compensation he's receiving.
I talked to someone over the weekend. There's a lot of publicly available information out there that he thinks that if the Senate goes to the GOP, that Rand Paul is going to just blast us all with it,
Well, he's talked about that multiple times.
Yeah, well, but wait until he has the power to do something about it.
Yes.
So
it needs to happen.
Got to get the Senate in GOP hands.
Without redacting the royalties that guy has made, because every time they redact the royalties, I'm thinking the royalties that he's made from Big Pharma probably dwarf the $12.5 million they say he's worth. I'll bet you he's worth 10 times that, at least.
Yeah. And do we have that map? I know you got the Fauci clip there. Do we have the map there that came out? This is very interesting. Okay, so what this is, this is from week 14 of 2021. Okay, so this is about, April of 2021, about the time when that guy made that tweet. Mm-hmm. Hey, if I die, you were right.
Right.
So these are counties with higher excess non-COVID natural cause deaths. In other words, what you're looking at are counties in the United States that had excess natural deaths higher than what was average. Not COVID deaths, not I got hit by a train deaths.
Okay. Yeah.
God rest your soul, Doc Thompson.
So
these are deaths.
You would be led to believe that maybe it had something to do with, I don't know, some shot you just got.
What's that now?
Maybe.
What limb are you going out on all by yourself over there? No, what even?
Am I?
What are you doing? I was just saying, how weird is this? All these counties in America had.
Well, I just couldn't help but notice that the counties seemed to coincide with where the vaccine was most prevalent.
So you're trying. I see what you're doing.
Mm-hmm.
Okay.
Mm-hmm.
Oh, interesting connection.
Isn't it?
Never
got that, huh?
Begin to go down that road with you.
Yeah. Huh.
I think I need to consider that. I was just pointing out how weird it was that
it is
natural
weird. You're right.
cause deaths above normal in all of these counties.
Huh. What could account for it?
Wait, I don't even know what that.
them.
It's a non sequitur.
Yeah. But I'm not sure it was caused by the mark of the beast, frankly.
No, that's later. We'll get there.
Yeah.
So anyway, he's making the rounds. He's getting ready to leave.
So anyway, he's going to retire soon, right? End of the year. Is that what we expect?
Yeah.
And Jonathan Karl sat down with him this weekend, and they talked about whether he'd do anything differently.
Oh, okay.
Was it a mistake in so many states and so many localities to see schools closed as long as they were?
I think in some case, I don't want to use the word mistake, John, because if I do, it gets taken out of the context that you're asking me the question on.
Well, did we pay too high a price?
Yeah, I would say that what we should realize and have realized that there will be deleterious collateral consequences when you do something like that. This idea that this virus doesn't afflict children is not so. It does. We've lost close to 1,500 kids so far.
But much less than the older population, obviously.
Oh, of course.
Yeah.
But you shouldn't discount
it's like that
it does afflict children. So it isn't without consequences. If you go back, and I ask anybody to go back over the number of times that I've said we've got to do everything we can to keep the schools open, no one plays that clip. They always come back and say Fauci was responsible for closing schools. I had nothing to do.
I mean,
let's get down to the facts.
You're not the head of a school board.
Exactly.
But a lot of schools were closed.
Pause it for a second. They were going by your advice.
And he knew it.
Douche.
And he knew it.
They were trusting your guidelines. And besides, you took both sides of every single issue the whole time. Masks, school closures.
So it's interesting you say that, because here in the last few seconds of this clip, it kind of gets buried with Jonathan Karl talking, I think at the same time there, is that he recommends, we should have the schools open right now as long as, this douchebag, as long as the people doing the teaching are vaccinated and wearing masks. What the hell? What?
Are you kidding me?
Go away now. Can you leave now?
Let's see the rest.
The head of a school board.
Exactly.
But a lot of schools were closed. There was a lot of remote learning.
Right.
It went on for in some jurisdictions for the better part of 2 years.
Right, exactly.
And we've seen the impact. We've seen what's happened in terms of lower reading scores, lower math scores. I mean, who knows the psychological impact? I mean, it was a steep cost.
It was. The most important thing is to protect the children.
That's the most important thing, John.
Future pandemics.
What do we do?
Is more of a focus on that. Is how can we protect the kids and get them back to school?
Exactly.
More quickly.
And the way you do that, you get the people who interact with the children to be vaccinated and masked. You provide ventilation in the schools. You try to keep them in the schools safely. The most important thing is to protect the children.
This guy.
Well, that's right. Thank you for that, Anthony.
He
sucks. He's a piece of work. Wow.
So,
and don't forget over there, I am science, John.
Oh, that's right.
So what I say goes.
So I'm adding up the old CDC numbers, and he just said, look, we had to protect the children because 1,500 kids died from COVID. So according to the CDC website right now, 1,490 children between ages 0 and 18 have died from COVID. So, all right, so 1,500.
Mm-hmm.
Out of, the CDC says,
how many vaccinated?
1.058 million have died from COVID. So,
wait, the CDC says?
Yeah.
Over 1 million people have died from COVID.
Yeah.
Is that that's on the VAERS page?
No. This is no from COVID, not from the
vaccine.
Oh,
from COVID. Yeah, right.
So the CDC says over 1 million have died from COVID.
Right.
And he's trying to make the case that, we should have done what we did. 1,500 kids died out of over 1 million victims of COVID. How many kids died of the flu? Or,
more than that, I guarantee
before
it.
2020 came around.
Guaranteed. More than that.
Average.
Probably every year.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying.
Every year. Yeah, so we had to do everything we possibly could to protect the children. That was thing number one, John. Over there. Okay.
Oh, how interesting.
And?
I'm trying to
on the flu?
I'm trying to get the flu season estimated deaths. Oh, there we go. Okay. I thought the page had been taken down by the CDC. Okay. Let's see. So 52,000. Okay, so 52,000 flu-related deaths, 2017, 2018 total.
Okay, yeah. But does it say children?
I'm clicking on
what about the children?
The table, and it won't open.
How many of the children? 12-year-old boy children.
I know it's going to...
Maybe there were none.
That's what you're hoping, right?
Mm-hmm.
I think we're all hoping. Anyway, here we go. Okay, let's see. Estimate deaths, 110. Okay, so here we go. So now we gave them 1,500 deaths, 0 to 18, over the last 2 years.
Yes.
Okay, this breaks it down 0 to 4, 5 to 17. So 526 deaths. So let's say if you 18, 500. So a third of the deaths in 2 years for COVID for children. A third of those in 1 year, one flu season for kids. You follow me?
Yeah. So you're saying a third of those who died in 1 year, a third of the ones who died from COVID in 2, right?
Correct. Yeah.
So 500 kids died.
Exactly.
In 1 year.
And you remember how we shut down society for flu season?
No.
Remote learning, vaccines,
completely
masks.
forgotten about that.
No playing on playgrounds, no going to summer camp, no seeing your friends, no church, no nothing. You remember all that? Because I sure as hell don't. This guy has played such a large role, and there's been many conspirators in this, in destroying the society and destroying this generation and the education for these kids. My gosh, what's this?
We're way behind now.
Yeah, absolutely. I love this Baltimore story. We got to get to that at some point.
We'll do that in overtime for sure.
I swear.
It's crazy.
But
it's really crazy.
You got to protect the children, Jake. Or whatever the hell. John.
Yeah. Jonathan Karl holding his feet to the fire a little bit there, doing some of the things that Jonathan Karl used to be known for. So that was good. Somewhat good. 888-900-3393. Washington, D.C.'s tent cities. Man, it is just unbelievable how many of these
everywhere
are springing up in every major city in the United States of America right now. The marble monuments of the nation's capital have become neighbors to abject squalor. Ever-expanding tent cities that are the most disgraceful examples of a trend bedeviling Democrat-led cities around the U.S. In the past 2 years, homeless encampments have exploded in D.C. as both the city and federal governments lifted enforcement measures during the COVID-19 pandemic and made it a no-brainer for the homeless to lay down roots by providing for their every need. So the government just takes care of them. They can set up anywhere they want in these tent cities, and both the city and the federal government are rushing aid to them.
Third worldification.
Rather than moving them out of these areas, not allowing these tent cities to spring up, they're just completely allowing it and turning all of our cities into, shanty towns, South Africa style. It's unreal what they're allowing to happen. A tour by the Washington Post, this is from the Post, of the district's major tourist areas this week found at least 35 vagrants in residence at a National Park Service site 2 blocks from the White House. More than 20 in the green spaces around the State Department complex, and 5 more across the street from the infamous Watergate Hotel. Congratulations, Democrats. You're really doing a good job. These sites accounted for less than 5% of the estimated 120 tent cities in D.C. right now. Wow. All right, we'll see you again on Overtime and tomorrow right here on
Pat
Unleashed.
Gray, only on the Blaze Radio Network.